Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your April Soul Session. I'm Princess India if you are new, and if you are family, welcome back, my friend, and what's not, or whatever. So if you're not familiar with what my soul sessions are, okay, I cannot shuffle. They are your spirituality as well as personal development readings in which we look at the energies that you guys may encounter this month for the sole purpose of giving you some clarity, some guidance, as well as some advice, my friend. And I have to say, if you have your Wokebook, go ahead and get your soul session sheet out, because all of these interrelate and correlate, my friend. I really cannot shuffle, y'all. Let's see what is going on with these cards for my Taurian peoples. Whoa, for the month of April. So, okay, two cards came out, one face down, one face up. The first one is the Five of Swords, and then we have the Emperor card, which is Aries energy. So I'm going to say, because again, speaking of the Wokebook, I have a whole section in there talking about how to watch the soul sessions, and I suggest that whatever sign zodiac season we're in, that you watch that as like a general collective overview. So we're in Aries season, so for my Taurian people, I would suggest to go watch that Aries reading. But other than that, what it's looking like is Taurians stepping into their power. Wow, and this came out for Aries too, and that's 2 4s that we have here. We have the Five of Swords, the Emperor, and the Four of Swords that came out. So the first inclination that I'm getting at Taurus is more or less coming into the month of, wow, and the Nine of Swords came out. That came out for Aries as well. So you're coming into the month of April. For some of you, this could be a tad bit of heartbreak, I feel, with this, and not necessarily like romantic heartbreak, but it feels like a disappointment, whether that's with, you know, a company, a coworker, a friend, family member, what have you. It's almost coming into the month of April with a heavy heart, and a heavy heart that's on the tail end of some sort of conflict. However, I feel that there's a vibe of, in counseling, we call it the approachable face, which is more or less, and I'm just going to say it how I'm hearing it. It's a sense of like falling apart inside, right? And going through emotional turmoil, or just feeling really down in the dumps, right? Or being really hurt or grief stricken about what it is that you guys went through in March, but it's putting up the approachable face to where it's like, oh, you know, I'm fine, no big deal. Oh yeah, you know, I was really disappointed about that, but you know, I'm good, I'm doing really good, you know. But behind that face is, you know, a heart that's grief stricken, or, you know, greatly disappointed. And for some of you, it could even be a sense of betrayal, right? Now, with this Emperor card, I feel more or less just an energy shift for you all. This month for you guys is really about you guys stepping into your power. For some of you, this is like a position of leadership that you guys may be stepping into. For some of you, this could literally be daddy issues that you guys may be confronting this month. However, I feel what the most important message is here with this, because I feel this Emperor is representing an energy that's coming up. It's like a spiritual influence, if you will. So it's not so much about something you did that, you know, causes, unless you applied for a job or a promotion or something like that. But I feel like this is like a divine timing kind of thing, where it's putting you guys into this position of power, which brings me back to this Five of Swords and why this is so important. Because I feel with this power that you guys are having the opportunity to step into, you don't want to step into that position, whatever it may be, with that approachable face. So this is more or less talking about with this Nine of Swords coming out right underneath that, much like I said for Aries. So I'm gonna say big picture, even if you don't have it in your chart, I would strongly suggest to watch that Aries reading, because their reading in their extended went into great detail of that. But I feel that this month for Taurus is really about facing those demons. It's a shadow work kind of month for everyone, because of the full moon in Scorpio, which is on, I have my list from the Wokebook here. It's on the 26th of April, right? So, and for full moons, we're releasing energy. So I feel this is a little bit of practical shadow work, where it's something that's been long standing, that you guys have been holding underneath the surface and, like, you know, kind of gritting your teeth and smiling through it. And it's, you know, divinely ordained for you guys to step into power this month. However, and that the power you're stepping into could be personal power, it could be like literal, like I said, job, what have you. But it's a leadership quality to that, a trailblazing quality to that. And I feel in order for you guys to step into alignment with this, it would behoove you to face this proverbial shadow or demon, if you will, and slay it once and for all, so that you guys can stand in this position of power and not, you know, fake it till you make it, or, you know, have to be suffering inside and faking a smile, if you will. Now, this Four of Swords that also came out for Aries, I really feel the same thing for you guys. This is really speaking to a respite. It's a need to self-care, which is something that is extremely important for Taurians. By the way, if you didn't know, so says the double Taurus gal sitting right here in front of you. You know what I'm saying? But I feel that there's a need to rest. If you're not getting 8 hours of sleep, if you're not taking care of your body, I said for Aries the same thing. If you're not taking care of your mental health, whether it's been that you've never been to a therapist, or if you're someone, and I tell this to my clients all the time, even if you've completed therapy, right, and been terminated from therapy, and it's years later and you find that your coping skills aren't working. So, you know, hashtag self-care isn't working for the stressors or the challenges that you guys are facing, or if you've had a major life transition, now is the time to go back to get a little bit of repair work with your therapist. And same thing, like I told Aries, is, you guys know, I'm a practicing therapist. You can holler at your girl. You know what I'm saying? Or I've partnered with BetterHelp. BetterHelp is one of my sponsors. I have the link in the description box. So if you don't have a therapist, or you're not ready to, like, go into somebody's office or search Psychology Today or something along those lines, you can most certainly utilize that link below to find a therapist, and they match a therapist for you. You can do phone calls, you can do video sessions, you can do text, whatever is most comfortable for you. So I would say most certainly to take advantage of that. But this Four of Swords to me is really speaking heavily to needing to take a step back and rest. Some of you, it's just sleep. Some of you, it's a little bit of mental health things that are going on, because I really do feel that it's a pain. It's I say heartbreak, but I have to stress it's not just romantic. It's some betrayal, hurt, wound, trauma, something along those lines that you guys experienced in the past that you have been carrying with you for a while underneath it all. And Pisces season, which we're coming out of, had a great deal to do with that. It's a lot of old traumas, old wounds. Many people thought they were over. Many people thought they had processed, you know, or healed from, that reared their ugly heads during Pisces season. But the reason for that is because those things that have been kind of like at the bottom of your proverbial emotional ocean, those things are coming to the surface to be dealt with, because what you guys are coming into, you don't want to be carrying that old energy or those old wounds with you. So this is a month that's really saying it's shadow work. It's Taurians making themselves a priority. It's really about taking care of yourself. But on the lighter side of that, it's you guys coming into this position of you know, being recognized, or just fully embracing yourself, if you will. But I feel this heavily in the sense of it feels like career, work, you know, maybe if you're a business owner, you know what I'm saying, and somebody writes something about you, it's some type of being recognized. And then we have the Hanged Man, which again, like I said with this, and that's Aquarius energy, like I said with this Emperor, this is more or less surrendering to divine timing, right? It's understanding cause and effect, and understanding that where we are today is a byproduct of several choices that we've made, right? And whenever we find ourselves at a fork in the road, or we find ourselves having to face the consequence for things that choices we've made, or if we find ourselves in a position like we were saying with old wounds, if you find yourself in a position where you realize something that you went through years ago or last year, and even for some people, having gone through, you know, the word I can't say because the algorithm is going to get me, the thing that had us all in our house last year, there is a form of PTSD that a lot of people are experiencing having gone through that, right? So this is more or less recognizing, hey, I'm struggling right now, or, you know, hey, I'm regressing a little bit, or hey, I'm relapsing a little bit, or hey, you know, my coping skills aren't working, or I don't have coping skills, you know, whatever the case may be for you individually. And this is more or less about surrendering to what is. So it's more or less seeing where you are, accepting, yeah, I am hurt. I haven't gotten over that. I haven't really dealt with that. And this Hangman is speaking to that, surrendering to that and taking ownership of it. And whether this is a spiritual thing and it's surrendering to spirit and divine timing and allowing, right? Or this is speaking simply to like just, you know, mental health stuff, or, you know, health stuff. It's this surrender of acceptance of this is what's happening. I acknowledge this. I am doing this. I am feeling this. And that's you thus taking ownership of it, right? And that's how you can change it, because we cannot change things that we don't own first, right? So this is more or less you guys coming to this place of acceptance. And I'm seeing this more towards the midpoint of April, right? Which would bring us into getting closer to Taurus season. And man, y'all really got to watch Aries reading, because there's so much stuff I said for them, I'm going to say for you guys too. Because I said, those of you who've been with me for some time, you know that I absolutely adore and love solar returns, right? Because I look at solar returns, your birthday in essence, as a time that you can use like a New Year's Eve. So it's setting new goals. It's reflecting back on where you were this time last year. What has changed? Have you grown? The things that you wanted to be different, are they different? Is there different aspects of your life that could use a little bit more work, right? Are you worse off than you were this time last year? Why is that? What are those things that you can start putting work towards or attention towards to change, right? But this to me is really speaking to a deep emotional wound that has affected how you guys are showing up, that has affected how you guys perceive yourself, that has affected how you guys treat yourselves, that's affecting how it is that you guys are showing up in life overall. You know, so whether it's nightmares, it's addiction, whether it's, you know, low self-esteem, anxiety, it could be a myriad of different things. Isolating yourself from other people. And even if we're talking about depression, and it's you finding yourself sleeping a lot more than you know, ever have before, not really wanting to engage with people, you know what I mean? And worst case scenario, because with these readings, I've been seeing a lot of stuff. I mean, worst case scenario, which is why I have a lot of resources in my description box. If you have been having some ideations of feeling like, you know, like I just don't want to do this anymore, or quit life type of stuff, right? And I'm being cautious saying it that way just because of this algorithm, and I can't talk like I want, because, you know. But other than that, I would say yes, there are resources in my description box if you are feeling like wanting to harm yourself in that way, or if it's even been a thought. It's most certainly time to reach out to a professional to help, you know. But I really do feel this is a deep emotional wound. But the whole premise of this month, Taurus, what I'm saying all of this to say is all of these things that you guys have been experiencing, they're symptoms of a deeper problem. And this month is about you guys dealing with the deeper problem, because I don't feel that it's fair that any human being feels as if they have to live or exist with the approachable face. You know, no one should ever have to feel that you have to just smile through it and just deal with it. Like, there's a way to take these proverbial swords out of your heart, if you will. You know what I mean? It's just needing to accept that this is where you are. These are things that you are feeling, you know what I mean? And it's time to work through them, because you're not going to be able to change until you accept this is where you're at. But all of this is happening, whether this stems back to March or even, you know, a longer range than that. The reason why these things have been coming up, or you know, people have left, or, you know, whatever this is for you specifically, these things are coming up for you to have the opportunity to deal with them. Now, 3 cards fell out. Ooh, beautiful. We have the 8 of Swords. This is a lot of swords. We have the 3 of Cups, and then we have the 10 of Wands. Taurus, child, let me tell you something. Look, okay, here's the thing. In the center of this spread is the Hanged Man, right? So again, and I hate to be redundant, but it's literally surrendering to what is and accepting. Like, this is the byproduct of what I've been through. This is where it is that I am. Again, this 8 of Swords is speaking to a lot of what it is you guys have been dealing with, like a lot of the struggle, especially with all these sword cards. It's all speaking to the mental, the mind, the thoughts, right? If I put my therapist hat on right quick, it was halfway on already, right? If I were to put my therapist hat on real quick, what this is really saying is it's speaking to what I call inauthentic beliefs, right? And most people, CBT people, false core beliefs, right? I like to be different, right? So you have your inauthentic beliefs. You have things that you believe about yourself, and that affects what you believe about yourself in relation to other people, about life, what have you, right? What you think in your head, you know, if it's your inner critic, whatever, what you think in your head is based on those beliefs. So beliefs are in the subconscious. These are things we've been carrying since childhood, like the first messages we were sent about life. That's influencing what the conscious mind is thinking, right? These are all things I talk about in the Wokebook as well, BTW. But that influences what the conscious mind is thinking. What the conscious mind is thinking is what affects what you are feeling, right? So when you find yourself feeling sad, depressed, anxious, if it seems as if this came out of nowhere, like, I don't know, I was totally fine and just suddenly I just got mad and I was sitting here mad, sitting here sad. It all starts with that belief that inspires the thought influences the feeling, right? You know, and we'll get into that on another day. I'm going to make a video about it and put it on the network, because I don't want to spend y'all whole reading with me, like teaching y'all about false core beliefs and things of the sort. But all in all, this entire reading is saying to me that the month of April is about this form of shadow work. That's why I say practical shadow work. This is practical shadow work of attacking these false core beliefs and shifting them, because I feel a lot of the pain that you guys have been feeling with this 10 of Wands is carrying unnecessary burdens, like burdens from things you've been through or things that people have done to you that you were never intended to carry. And I feel that the burden has become so much, which is why I feel this 4 of Swords is speaking to a respite that needs to be taken. It's a need for Taurus to take a step back. Because, like I say, the Emperor at the top of the spread, you guys are intended to do something great. It's intended for you guys to be stepping into this energy. However, I feel it's a lot of great things you guys may have done throughout your life. Many things you may have accomplished. However, you've always accomplished these things with these proverbial 9 additional wands on your back, right? You think of Nine of Wands as the PTSD card that's talking about past trauma, right? Hypervigilance, like not trusting other people, not trusting yourself, you know what I mean? And feeling kind of off kilter and off balance. This month is about you guys facing this demon and slaying it once and for all, which is going to make the 26th of April extremely important for you guys, especially those of you whose are Taurians whose birthday falls at the end part of April, right? This is almost like a birthday gift from the universe, right? Because once you guys start to deal with this, and it's not talking about overnight, it just being different. It's just about you guys taking a step in that direction that's freeing you from this mental prison so that you guys can finally wholeheartedly, like holistically, every facet of yourself, be able to celebrate your life, your accomplishments, the people that are in it, you know what I mean? Without like that baggage or that burden that you're carrying. So this is like, again, yet another month of full on deliverance. And at the bottom of you guys' deck is the Eight of Cups. So it's talking about walking away from things that are no longer serving you, you know? So this is beautiful, Taurus. Like, this is really good. Like, I feel like this is almost like a final showdown for you guys. And freeing yourself from these chains, man. It's like it's a month of liberation. It's beautiful. I'm looking forward to doing your extended now and seeing what's going on over there. And I got some oracle cards that I'm throwing in here too. So I'm going over to my network to do you guys extended. If you're about that life, follow me on over there because I want to give you guys some additional info, resources, tools, and things of the sort. So follow me on over to my network. But if not, I still love your face. You know what I'm saying? Get the Wokebook. You know what I'm saying? It's right there. Like, get it. The link's in the description box. But, you know, still love your face. But I'll see you guys sooner than later.